that he had put her head on a shelf and screamed at it for an hour, threw darts at it, and ultimately smashed her face in. He also cut her tongue out and her larynx and put them in a garbage disposal.
Tell me in a sentence who you are.
I'm nobody. I'm a bum. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine and a straight razor if you get too close to me.
Do you ever feel violent?
Yes, I do.
What do you feel like doing?
Killing people.
You still feel like killing people?
Yes.
Describe the feeling that you get when you feel like killing people.
Well, last March 11th, I was hallucinating, and I took a razor blade and I cut a man's throat.
Here in the hospital?
Here in the hospital.
Do you think you'd murder me, Joe?
Yes.
That's gruesome, Joe. That's horrible.
Yes, it is.
And you don't blame me if I say I hope you never get out of this place.
I hope I never do either.
Welcome, all you true crime lovers. Sit back, grab that blanket and hot beverage, and prepare for another Saturday night of The Murder Show, whose mind and story will we dive into tonight. Now for your host, Tim, and alongside him, his co-host, Criminology, Chris, and Classroom Jackie.
Los Angeles, summer of 1985. A city of neon dreams, palm trees, and something else. Something moving in the dark. Something hunting. People remember the heat first. The thick, suffocating heat that clung to the city like a fever. Windows left open. Doors unlocked. A city trusting that night to stay quiet. But the night was no longer quiet. This is the story of how a predator who slipped through the shadows, crossed neighborhoods like a ghost, and turned the city of angels into a city of fear. This is the Murder Podcast Show, and tonight we follow footsteps of a man who became a nightmare. This is Night Stalker, Predator in the Shadows.
Hey, good evening. Good Saturday, fabulous evening here. All you Murder Show fans and fanatics. That's right. We got fanatics now. Never had them before, but we do now. We're living it.
Oh my
This
gosh, it's
is
crazy.
it. We are fucking living it. Anyways, welcome to another fantastic episode here on the Murder Podcast Show. I, at least what they tell me, don't believe them, have yet to get the check in the mail, but I am your host, Tim. Alongside of me, we have the amazing, fabulous, sexy son of a bitch, Criminology Chris, my co-host.
Good evening, everybody.
That is right. And alongside of my co-host is the director of all of our social media platforms. That's right. She loves her brain, Classroom Jackie.
What's up, guys?
All right. Well, I tell you what, it's been one hell of a busy week. I don't know about you kids, but it has been wild.
It has been nuts.
It really has been so, but that's okay though. We're here, we're alive, and we're ready for another awesome night here. As always, our sponsors, we want to start off. We have Crafty Corner by Laura. Laura makes all handmade crochet items, jewelry, plushies, and more. You can check her out on Instagram at Crafty Corner by Laura and on Etsy. She's got a shop on there as well. You can also email her at thecraftycornercrochet@gmail.com.
And then let's tell you guys about two of our favorite products that are also our sponsors. The first one is W Energy. They have some absolute amazing flavors. There's Calio cream, s'mores, which you mix with milk. How weird does that sound? Like it sounds like it'd be weird, but it's really good. They have amazing flavors, non-jittery, actually help you focus. What do you think of it when you use it, Tim?
Oh, I love that stuff. And I have a hard time with a lot of that jitters and all that kind of stuff, but not with, Dubby.
Right.
Dubby doesn't do that to me. And it really locks you in and gets you to focus too. Chris, what do you think?
I'm very warm right now. Although I think maybe that's due to the fact that it's not -20 outside. So
yeah, I probably should crack the window. I can do that. I had it open in here today a little bit too, and I had the front door open. Like,
Oh, it was so nice.
who the hell can do that?
Wait till tomorrow. It's going to be warmer.
Is it really?
Mhm.
I stared at my motorcycle for a little bit. I may or may not have turned it on for a second, but that's not the point of the story. Um, so
And
where
then
was I?
our
Oh
third
yeah,
one is Dochi, edible cookie dough, gluten free, vegan. Main ingredient is oats. It is fantastic. I was actually staying there this morning eating some of the WTF brownie, which is my all time favorite. They also have peppermint batty, the simple bitch, and
basic
then
bitch. Yeah,
basic bitch. They have amazing flavors. Now, both of these sponsors, if you go to their website and you put in Murder Show 66 in the discount code, you'll get a decent discount off with us.
yeah, you do. W, it's 10% off, and
Dochi's $5 off.
$5 off on
And
Dochi.
guys, even without that discount, it is still reasonably priced and is not expensive like every other brand out there is.
Very true. Very true. So we've got a new little segment here that it is the 1 minute
Of murder.
of murder with classroom Jackie. That is definitely the wrong. That is the wrong fucking thing that I wanted.
It's true,
to-
though.
Let's try that again.
Oh, I love that.
So, guys, this is a quick rundown of all of our social media. And let me just say, our TikTok went absolutely crazy this week. We went from a total of 475 followers to we currently have 863. We also have a total of almost 2,200 views on our TikTok.
Yeah, it's growing.
And our YouTube has been growing by 2 new followers a day. We
Yeah.
have a total of 76 subscribers and 5,084 views. And our streams are doing nothing but growing as well.
Oh yeah.
Our Facebook, we have 107 followers, and we're back on Instagram. We have 27 followers right now.
Yeah, along with a new one too on there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but we're not going to say who it is. We don't
Welcome
want
to
to do
Walmart.
that.
Welcome to Walmart. I'll get you a cart. I always wanted to be a buggy guy, you know?
You just
How-
want to be a greeter.
Yeah, how cool would that be? I'd get to that point where like my teeth are all gone and shit, and I'm just, you want a buggy? I'll get you a buggy. Because you got to call it a buggy, you know? It can't just be a
it can't
cart.
be a cart. It's a buggy.
You got to get fantastic with it, you know? Buggy.
Down south there, I think they call it a buggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it would be great. Yeah, and I think I get to the point too to where I'll have some rare testicle disease where it drags on the ground and they can call me dragon sack. I think it would be perfect, you know. I just think if I do apologize. Anyways, let's get down to business. So tonight we are covering out. This all happened in Los Angeles.
Well, so here's the thing too. This is going to be a bit of a longer one because we went a little bit more in depth. Yeah, I agree.
Jeez.
I agree. So we went a little bit more in depth with this case. So it is going to be a little bit of a longer one. So you'll see, and we hope you guys enjoy what we did.
Yeah, this one's definitely gonna be cool. So this is on the Night Stalker, aka his name was Richard Ramirez. And to so before the Night Stalker, became a name that terrified California, Southern, California, which I guess it was only one part of it.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, which I've been there before, and that's a rough city by itself. Let's see where. Oh yeah, he was a child. he was a child growing up in El Paso, Texas. A boy shaped by instability, violence, and influences that would leave deep marks long before he committed his first crime. Richard Ramirez was born Ricardo Leva Munzo Ramirez. I probably butchered all of that. I apologize.
Oh, I couldn't pronounce it either. It's fine.
I take it he was Hispanic, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I thought. He was born on February 29th, 1960. He was the youngest of 5 children in a working class Mexican American family. His father, is that Julian or would it be like Juan?
I believe that it is.
We'll go with Julian for right now, but I just didn't
Yeah.
know if it would be like Juan or not. Worked long hours on the railroad. Those who knew him described him as a strict and volatile
Volatile.
volatile, a man whose temper could
And
turn.
it is Julian.
Damn it, he's got this fucking horn now that
yeah.
he's gonna do to us
If
when we
we
screw up.
he's gonna honk a horn.
This is ridiculous. I did not vote this in. This was him.
I didn't either. Okay.
I did not vote this bullshit in here. So
I don't even know where this damn thing came from.
It was a Christmas gift that our son
Yeah.
I
received.
found it on my counter.
well, whoever got it for him, they can take it back and shove it. So anyways, so his temper, he could turn physical anytime, I guess, drop of a hat. His mother, Mercedes, worked in a factory that used harsh chemical. Oh yeah, get the popcorn ready. See, she's happy that you got the fucking horn. Thanks. That's great.
We're just a couple clowns.
So she worked in a factory that used harsh chemical solvents, raising later concerns about potential prenatal exposure. From a early age, Richard did show signs of withdrawal. So that's kind of crazy. So that could have been a part of that.
Yeah,
I
all of
mean,
those
with those
chemical
chemicals.
solvents that she worked with.
Right, like naphtha and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
sitting around breathing that crap. Like, I mean, that'll make you inhale that shit, and it makes your lungs feel like they stop working.
Right,
Really?
and you have to
You know, I mean,
remember
it's-
back then that the solvents and chemicals weren't up to the standards that they are today. So there was
Well,
way more harsh
yeah.
chemicals in it than there are now.
EPA probably wasn't all over
Yeah.
everybody like
We
they are now.
we do stuff for a chemical company that's actually in probably like 45 minutes from here, but they're a huge chemical company. And their stuff comes in these big cancer bins, and it has to be specially taken out of the bins. We're not even, unless you have like a respirator on when you around this shit. So they make like batteries, and they use like the acid and all that stuff. So
yeah, that stuff stuff is so
corrosive,
and it will eat through your skin. I've been burned by battery acid before. It's not fun.
Yeah, it definitely. Luckily I've never had that happen to me, but that would definitely, I would not want to be a part of that.
It smells awful too.
So he struggled in school, often keeping to himself. But the most significant influence on his development came from outside of the classroom, from his older cousin, Mike Ramirez. Mike was a decorated Vietnam War veteran who returned home carrying severe psychological trauma. Instead of receiving treatment, he brought his experiences into Ramirez's household. So that's got to be rough. You already have the issues that he's dealing with Richard, and then now you're bringing trauma from Vietnam.
You got chemicals pre-birth. You got a volatile father plus.
Yeah, I mean you're mixing the worst of the worst. So when Richard was just 12, Mike began showing him graphic Polaroids from Vietnam. Oh God, I can't even imagine that. Images of torture, mutilation, and sexual violence. These weren't stories or warnings, they were demonstrations. Lessons, a twisted form of mentorship. The situation escalated in 1973 during a domestic argument. Mike shot and killed his wife Jessie in front of Richard. Holy shit.
Yeah, so he witnessed a murder on top of it. So
Jeez. And you're seeing all these pictures, which I can't even fathom on the stuff you're seeing in these pictures and what they did over in Nam. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, who's carrying a Polaroid? I don't know. It seems like
that's a little weird, and I was kind of wondering that, like, how are they allowed to take pictures and all that of sexual violence and trauma and all that?
And bring that back with you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It probably wasn't monitored very heavily.
As I say again,
like
standards,
it is now.
Yeah, standards today are way different than they were back in 70s and stuff.
Yeah. So, Mike was later found not guilty by reason of insanity, which, yeah, I can kind of see that to a point there with his background and not getting his help from all that PTSD and
Hmm.
Nam. Um, Around this time, Richard began drifting away from home. He slept in cemeteries, experimented with drugs, and committed petty thefts. Um,
Didn't you say you did some research and one of the things that Richard's dad did was torture him in a cemetery secured
Well,
to a
I think
crucifix?
I think he went to I read something online about him taking refuge in a cemetery or escaping his household and going to one to hide out, and it said something along the lines of his dad like would like tie him up to a crucifix or something like that
Jeez,
in a cemetery and just like leave him there. I don't know.
damn.
Seems a little yeah,
Yeah, that's a little extreme.
little extreme.
Teachers and relatives described him as an increasingly detached, fascinated by violence, and drawn to the occult. He developed a pattern of nighttime wandering, a habit that would later define his crimes. By his mid teens, he had dropped out of school entirely. So by that point, he just said, screw it.
Yeah.
He spent more time on the streets learning how to break into homes, how to move quietly, and to avoid detection. These early thefts, I butcher that word all the time, and
You
I'm
got it
not even
right.
good. No, I just said thefts. It's the other way. I butcher that word all the time, so I'm not even.
Burglaries?
Yeah,
Thievery.
yeah. Yes, we'll go with that. Weren't just crimes of opportunity; they were rehearsals. So he was
He
building
was
up.
planning, yeah.
Yeah, he was building up. He knew what he was doing at this point. So, in 1977, at age 17, Richard left Texas for California. He drifted between Los Angeles and San Francisco, supporting himself through theft and odd jobs. His criminal behavior escalated. He began committing more uh,
Sophisticated.
sophisticated break ins, often entering homes at night, observing sleeping occupants, and leaving without being
That's
detected.
just creepy.
How do you not know this guy is fucking standing in your house watching you sleep?
If he's that quiet, you can. I've scared the crap out of him a couple of times, and he knows I live there.
Yeah, that's just, I can't even imagine waking up and somebody's standing there like, "Ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
and just staring at you. Could you imagine he just looks at it and he's like, shh, go back to bed.
Everything's okay.
But if you
Everything's
look
gonna
at a
be
picture of
okay.
him, could you imagine? Like, he's just creepy looking himself. That would just be scary.
Yeah. Yeah, he is very, very, creepy looking, definitely. It's gonna be okay. Go to sleep. So these patterns, nighttime entry, targeting vulnerable home, blah, blah, using violence to control victims, were already forming years before his first murder to him that he actually committed. Richard Ramirez's childhood didn't explain his crimes. I mean, I don't know. It kind of does a little bit to me, but
Yeah, he has
um,
some pretty wacky shit going on. Like, I
yeah,
don't know if I call that normal. I mean,
no,
I don't
I
know that it.
definitely would not.
You know, I'm sure there's people that have been through that once again, and we always talk about it, but that are exposed to that kind of thing and still end up normal. But yeah, it couldn't have helped.
I
Couldn't have helped.
Yeah, my dad never took me in cemetery and had me sit up against a crucifix or whatever. I don't
Yeah,
remember doing
yeah. I
that.
remember
No,
looking
never.
at Polaroids of Nam, and it
Yeah,
was just, I don't know.
yeah, I definitely don't remember that. But maybe I was high on the milk.
High
You
on the
never
milk.
high on the
Oh
milk.
my gosh.
Um,
Yeah, the brain is constructed to forget bad things, you know.
True,
So
true, and I am a firm believer of that. Yeah,
those repressed things.
Hmm.
yeah, definitely. Um, so, like I was saying, it didn't explain his crimes, but it provided investigators with a clear understanding of how trauma, exposure to violence, lack of intervention, and early criminal behavior shaped the man who would later become known as the Night Stalker. So yeah, that I see what they, what it means. It's just like once they dug into his childhood, they're like, okay, the puzzle pieces are kind of fitting together here
Yeah.
on what may have caused a lot of this. Um, so the first known murder, this is after childhood, the first homicide eventually linked to Richard occurred on June 28th, 1984. The
Hey, that's
victim,
only 5 years before I was born.
oh shit. Well, I mean, I guess you're SOL.
I am.
I don't know. Now this is sad because the victim was 79-year-old Jenny Vincow, who lived alone in an apartment in Glassell Park. Her son discovered her body after she failed to answer the phone. Police reports describe multiple stab wounds, signs of sexual assault, and evidence that the killer entered through a window. I I mean, this is your sexual assault to a 79-year-old woman. This poor woman is living alone and is just trying to live out what life she has left on earth and just be herself, be to herself.
Yeah.
And then you got this friggin' freak that breaks in and sexually assault. That's just sick.
And unfortunately, it's going to be a very repeated pattern that we're going to see with some of these victims is
Yeah. Yeah, he did
that.
like just this kind of stuff that he did to him, the torturing and stuff. It kind of reminds me of Dennis, Raider. I mean,
Yeah,
just with the torture.
but as we find out, like his is worse than Raiders.
You think?
100%.
Well,
it was all over the map too. Like, I mean, he didn't have like a typical victim per
Mm-mm.
se. I mean, it was, young to very old. Doesn't matter what race. Like,
yeah,
there was no. And that was the scary part about living in LA at that time or in that area. Like, this guy's roaming around, this shit's happening, nobody knows who it is at this point.
Well, they were
Yeah.
And it's
also
like, hey, he's targeting everybody. Oh shit. Like when he's targeting like, oh, girls between the ages of 21 and 27, the guys were like, oh man, I'm okay.
yeah, like
Everybody was in danger. It
Bundy.
wasn't
Bundy targeted college girls.
exactly right. Yeah, I had like a typical person he was after. This guy just whole gamut of
And he had no rhyme or reason on the people that he chose. He just did it.
yeah.
He's just like, all right, that person, that family, that house, whatever. It's just like there was no um specific motive behind it. It wasn't like some of these guys where it's like I can't stand that like Manson didn't like that guy that didn't want to produce his song.
hmm
So he was ultimately trying to get to him, and then all that shit went down in the house, when that guy moved out. But there was no rhyme or reason, like I said, for the people he was choosing,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Um, so the apartment showed no signs of ransacking, only targeted violence. At the time, investigators treated it as a isolated homicide. There was no suspect description, no fingerprints, and no clear motive that I was just stating. The case stalled quickly. Only after Ramirez's arrest would forensic evidence connect him to this crime, establishing it as the beginning of his known murder series. So I wonder how they ended up linking it to him then after after he was arrested and all that stuff.
We'll get into that how
Oh, okay.
they start linking it
Ooh,
all.
it's gonna be spooky.
Oh,
It's gonna stick around. It's gonna get spooky.
it's gonna get good, guys.
Um, wow, I didn't even take W tonight.
Look at you.
I'm just living a dream, man. I'm doing good. Life's good. I'm living a dream. Um, we're doing bacon, so only unsafe will know what that means. Sorry, we have some code words that we use, so just leave us alone.
Watch the hand signals.
Yeah, watch the hand
I
signals.
saw that thing zooming a little
She
bit.
Don't
knows
lift the
that
arm, right.
that we're baking, so she
Don't lift
knows.
the right.
Anyways, so to understand how Ramirez operated, it helps to understand the environment he moved through. Los Angeles in the mid 80s was dealing with rising crime rates, budget constraints, and a patchwork of law enforcement jurisdictions. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think LA is still dealing with a lot of
Oh
those.
yeah.
Correct me if
Well,
I'm wrong.
and in some of the documentaries that I watched, they said that crimes could be committed from one part of Los Angeles to another, and you would cross through 3 to 5 different oh my god.
Jurisdiction.
Jurisdictions.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you have how many precincts do you have in the
Right.
city of? I mean, it's a very
And that
large
was one of
city.
the things that we'll see is they couldn't actually figure out what
Well, a lot of these areas did not
how do you say
talk
that
to each
word?
other.
Jurisdictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to mess it up
Honk
again.
the horn.
Just honk it.
Yeah, there we go.
That they didn't communicate
Welcome in,
with
everybody.
each other.
Butter your popcorn.
So that might be why some of the cases took longer to link Ramirez to.
Okay. So, I mean, it's still the same out there. Just add hookers and a lot more drugs to it
Mhm.
now.
And more celebrities.
And more celebrities, yeah, as you get over into Hollywood. So,
A lot of scrimpers.
what's a scrimper?
What?
A stripper.
Oh.
A scrimper.
Well, we can say the actual word on here. We're not on TikTok here.
Strippers.
You
I don't
know,
think stripper like really is gonna.
we don't have to say pew pew like on TikTok.
Pew pew.
And call it a gun. Many neighborhoods lacked adequate lighting. Heat waves push residents to sleep with the windows open. Okay, so that makes sense. Air conditioning wasn't common in older homes. Ramirez exploited these vulnerabilities.
Almost got the horn.
A midnight ballerina. A midnight ballerina. Yeah, that's a good way of calling a stripper.
Oh, I like that.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. A midnight ballerina. Okay. He targeted houses with easy access points, sliding doors without security bars, windows left cracked for ventilation, or front doors that weren't deadbolted. I don't know about you, but I deadbolt my doors every night. I'm like OCD about that shit.
Yeah, I'm worried about it.
Even though we don't live in a bad part of our town, but I always got to go through and make sure my two main doors are deadbolted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I'm not even necessarily sure that our town has a bad part. I mean, it's not really. I mean, there's
True,
a couple
true.
spots, but hell.
But yeah,
Yeah, but still, like, yeah. But even when I was a kid, I remember sleeping with the windows open and all that.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
And I mean, apartment buildings most of them didn't have air conditioning either because of that time.
yeah, that's true. He also moved constantly. So he was, I mean, imagine they can't even keep up with this guy because he's moving. And at nighttime, that's when he's striking. So he's probably bouncing from one apartment to another, from one house to another, which would be hard to keep up with. So he didn't stay within one neighborhood or even one county. This mobility made it difficult for investigators to connect the crimes in the beginning. Jumping ahead a little bit, on March 17th, 1985, Ramirez committed 2 attacks within the span of an hour. These crimes would be the first to draw widespread public attention. So the first victim was 22-year-old Maria Hernandez. She was returning home to her townhouse in Rosemead when Ramirez confronted her in the garage. He fired a shot at her head. The bullet struck her car keys, which she happened to be holding up defensively, and deflected. She survived.
Wow.
Damn. Talk about luck.
That's some
Oh, yeah.
Mythbuster shit.
Holy.
You deflected a bullet with your keys. Man.
Wow. I mean, imagine telling people that story afterwards that you made that. People are going to look at you and be like, get out of here.
Yeah,
You're
right.
full of shit, you know?
Yeah.
Wow. So she was probably thinking, God, after that one.
Yeah.
Jeez. Inside her home, her roommate, 34-year-old D, we'll just say D, Okazaki, was shot and killed. She had been in the kitchen, startled by the noise, and Ramirez shot her at close range. Less than an hour later, Ramirez attacked again in Monterey Park. He pulled 30-year-old T.L. Veronica, we'll just go with that, from her car and shot her. She died right on the scene. These two attacks, rapid, public, and violent, marked a turning point for the first time. Law enforcement realized then that they were dealing with a highly mobile offender capable of striking multiple times in a single night. So at that point, I mean, they're just, what do you do? Like,
Right.
shit.
Yeah. Once it happens two times, and you're no longer dealing with an isolated incident where someone just got pissed and killed somebody. You know,
Yeah.
you're dealing with somebody that's a habitual offender
Yeah.
in this, in this manner. Like, so it definitely is going to get more attention than some guy who shot a midnight ballerina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's
Ballerina.
going to stick with me
Ding
now.
ding ding. I'm gonna
Ting, ting, ting. Is
ding
that what
ding
you?
ding. Like the dancer.
Oh, God.
You know, ding ding ding.
Oh, we're going places.
Eh,
We are going
we're
places.
here for you guys.
We're
That's
here
better
for
than
you
good for
guys. Yeah.
I'm gonna wear a tutu next week.
No, we are not going that far into this fucking
No.
crazy ass world here. So, anyways, jumping ahead, the March 17th attacks that we just discussed, they received immediate media coverage. Witnesses described the suspect as a tall, thin man with dark hair wearing a baseball cap, because that narrows it down. This was the first time the public heard about a potential serial offender operating in the region. But even then, the full scope of the threat wasn't clear. So everybody's probably just like, yeah, okay, this guy, he's out and about. He killed somebody and then tried to kill another person. Like, at this point, sad to say, they're probably used to it out there. Um, well, welcome in, David. It's about time you joined, David. But hey, we're not here to judge. It's not Monday. We don't judge. So,
There he is.
uh, so nor this is going to be a long one. Hope you. Oh, wow! I'm reading Classroom Jackie's comments now. I like bananas. So. So he had attempted assaults, non-fatal attacks scattered across multiple jurisdictions. The lack of centralized communication between police departments allowed Ramirez to continue offending without a clear investigation pattern. So they couldn't do nothing because everything is so sporadic
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
all over the place, and like they're saying, in different regions, counties.
So one thing we always talk about is like the same thing with Gacy. It's the same thing with Bundy. If you move and you hop around, and there's no targeted attacks, or these people don't have things in common, or aren't related, or aren't friends of the person, or anything like that, there's not a whole lot you can like to go on.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yep.
especially at that time, like they weren't like setting up these crime scenes and pulling like we found a hair. Nowadays it would be a hell of a lot harder to get away with isolated incidents, but like that, like a lot of good police work was based on patterns.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
no pattern.
No, and I think he knew what he was doing there.
And these guys, like you said, did not talk to each other. There was no county like some sort of task force that was multi-county or anything like that. That probably these guys were banding together and trying to figure this shit out. Like it was
Yeah.
just each individual precinct trying to develop an idea of what the hell was going on. But like you said, they weren't chatting with each other, so
Yeah.
kind of hard to pin that down.
Nowadays, I can only imagine guys now that are committing these crimes where they're thinking like, damn it, why couldn't we done this back in the day? We probably could have gotten away with shit easier,
Well,
It's
yeah.
just like, because it's different times now.
Yeah, as you go back, it's like the old West, man. I mean, you just kill anybody you want. It didn't matter. Nobody could figure that out.
Yeah,
you know?
true. Very true. We'll look at Bonnie and Clyde when we did them. I mean,
Yeah.
they could get away with that shit back then.
Mm-hmm.
They would just pull up and they had a system that they would do. And she'd get out of the car because she had that issue with her leg and stuff. And
She drug her left leg.
yeah, she drug her left leg. So after the March attacks, Ramirez's crimes escalated rapidly. So he's starting to take off now. He's already committed 3 of them. And between March and August of 1985, he committed a series of home invasions marked by extreme violence and unpredictability. So some consistent elements began to emerge. So now they're starting to catch on to some of his stuff. Victim diversity. Ramirez targeted men, women, children, and elderly individuals. There was no demographic pattern.
Mhm.
Like we had talked about in the beginning, he didn't care.
Right.
He's taking out everybody. His entry method, he typically entered through unlocked doors or open windows. Weapons, he used whatever was, available, firearms, knives, blunt things, and statements. Several survivors reported that he referenced Satan or the occult during the attacks. Forensic evidence, investigators recovered shoe prints from the Avia sneaker. I think that's how you pronounce
Avia.
Avia sneaker at multiple scenes. This would later become a crucial piece of evidence, which Classroom Jackie will get to that later on. One significant attack occurred on May 14th, 1985, just a few years before I was born, when Ramirez entered the home of a 66-year-old Bill Doy and his wife, Lillian. Bill was shot and later died from his injuries. Lillian was assaulted, but she survived. So this is like the second person that's now survived that was not supposed to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Her testimony provided investigators with additional behavioral details, including Ramirez's voice. So that's a new one there. His mannerisms, which, what is he polite when he goes in there? Please get down on your knees. I ask you nicely, I'm going to pull the gun out. Please don't look. I mean, you got to be polite, I
Yeah,
guess. So
well,
I guess that's what he
right.
was going for. And his tendency to ransack homes after attacking victims. By this point, law enforcement agencies were beginning to suspect that the crimes were connected. So, I mean, in the beginning, he didn't ransack.
Mm-mm.
Now he's starting to do that.
Yeah, and he also started having snack time.
Yeah, he's starting to
Yeah, he did what
change things.
BTK did. He'd go and have some cookies or something like that, or eat some shit in your house.
David, while you're doing your research for this subject, did you notice a lot of influences from the movies and television shows about him? Yeah, there's a Netflix documentary on him that I watched, and it's really
Yeah,
good
we did
too
a
as
lot of
well.
we try and stick with more of the documentaries than we do with the movies that are kind of fictionalized and have um things that may not be clear or accurate in them. So we try and stick with those as well as stories and things like that. Like we can learn from the true crime
Yes.
museums and online there's documentaries you can read as well as the police reports.
Yeah. Anyways, that was my Hank Hill. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. So they were beginning to catch on because he's adding things that he's doing periodically at all these different crime scenes now. So he's kind of losing his, I don't know, not really losing his skill, but as far as trying to hide, it's
His
almost,
anonymity,
it's
oh my gosh,
atomy.
Hold on a second.
anonymity,
So
anonymous status. There we go.
I wonder if it becomes, because I've heard this put away too before, or put this way before. I wonder if throughout time, the more they kill, if they start to become lazy. I've
They
heard
become
that.
comfortable, like
Yeah,
complacent.
yeah, almost like I've gotten away with doing this amount of kills. They're not going to catch me. And then they kind of start to slip up a little bit, not realizing that they're slipping up.
Mm-hmm.
And then before you know it, law enforcement is right on their tail.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of these guys' confidence kind of makes you stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way of putting it.
Or lazy, one way or the other. Like they probably just, like you said, they just get complacent. They just, why should I bother trying so damn hard?
Yeah.
They're not catching on, so.
Yeah. So moving on here. He
Anonymity, by the way.
Anonymity, yeah. Yeah,
Thank
David.
you.
Thanks, garbage gold trash can.
Anonymity.
So
I tried to say it.
law enforcement were definitely they were seeing that the crimes were connected, but without a suspect name, a constant or a consistent MO, or a clear geographic pattern, the investigation remained fragmented. Now, we're kind of going to kind of move into survivor testimonies and behavioral details here. As the attacks continued, a clear picture of the offender began to form, not through forensic breakthroughs, but through the survivors who lived to describe him. One of the earliest and most informative accounts came from 16-year-old Whitney Bennett. So on July 5th, 1985, Ramirez entered her family's home in Sierra Madre. He beat her with a tire iron, which, God, that's got to hurt. Should have muted that. Anyways, and attempted to strangle her with a telephone cord. The cord sparked, likely due to exposed wiring. I did not realize that a telephone cord would spark.
It
Very,
I didn't think
can.
there was
it
enough
shouldn't. It's
voltage.
very low voltage.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
it's the shock that you could even possibly get from a telephone line. I don't even know the hell you'd feel it, or it'd be like comparable to a 9-volt battery when you put it on your tongue. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah, I've
that
done
kind
that
of
before. I don't know
whatever. But
why.
it's very, very minor. Like I think I got a hit from my from my doorbell wires when I was trying to replace my fucking doorbell. You know,
Is it like a zap from the pull string of a fan?
it's kind of like, oh yeah, I know that's there. You know, I kind of want to like a wake up moment. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
that's all it is. It's nothing that's probably going to kill you.
Is that
But
why
it's,
you tried to get me to touch mine when you helped me change my doorbell out
yeah, I'm
a
like,
while back?
just kiss it.
Make it feel better.
Unsafe Snuggie. You see what I got to deal with? Kind of shit I got to deal with. So
I'm looking out for your best interest, pal.
that's great.
You
That's
got to
great.
feel some things.
I'm here for you.
Anyways, Whitney survived. So Ramirez fled, believing it was a sign of divine intervention from a fucking telephone. Whitney survived. Her description added new behavioral details. The attacker was tall and thin, which this isn't the first person to say that, and with unkept hair. He had noticeably bad teeth. Ooh, something multiple survivors would later confirm. He moved quickly and spoke in a low, controlled voice. He seemed to shift between calmness and sudden burst of violence, kind of like his father.
Yeah.
That's how his dad was. Another survivor, 42-year-old Carol Kyle, he got two first names? Anyways, provided additional insight. Ramirez broke into her home on May 29th, 1985, hey, day after my birthday, tied her and her son up, and assaulted her. She later described him as methodical, someone who searched the house with purpose, taking valuables, but also lingering longer than most burglars would. These testimonies helped investigators understand that the offender wasn't simply opportunistic, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Good
Yep.
job.
Yeah.
I didn't get a horn there. I'm
No,
okay.
no harm.
I was nervous. He was comfortable inside victims' homes. He took his time. He exerted control, and he was escalating. So yeah, he's I don't know, man. I'm trying to imagine him inside of a home. He's got to be like a fly bouncing off the damn walls, calm at moments, then violent, then here and there, and but yeah, I just damn. Anyways, so now we're going to kind of get into the shoe a little bit here. David, the voltage in a landline telephone is operation is 48 volts DC when it's idle, 3 to 9 volts AC. That still doesn't seem like a lot,
Nah,
though,
it's not a lot.
right?
It's still low voltage.
That's just in the odds. What are the odds that it sparked right then and there? That's once again, she got lucky.
Divine intervention.
Yeah, divine intervention. Come on, this shit. One of the most important pieces of the physical evidence in the case came from something simple, a shoe print. At several crime scenes, investigators found impressions from a size 11 and a half What did you say it was again?
It's 11 and a half Avia shoe.
Okay. 11 and a half a Via sneaker. At the time, a Via was a relatively new athletic shoe brand, and this particular model had limited distribution in the United
To
States.
be exact, 6 pairs of this exact model, size, and color were distributed across the United States. 5 of them went to Arizona, and 1 pair went to California.
Yeah.
And gee, I wonder who had the one
And
pair.
if you're gonna
Mhm.
kill people, you wear pretty rare shoes. That's right. Whatever.
I mean, I prefer to go with the New Balances, but
No,
no,
like they
The
said
dad
in
shoes.
Shawshank, like how often do you look at a man's shoes? You know.
that is
Mhm.
true. That is true.
Yeah.
We don't. We can't sell our feet on websites. We can't do that, Chris.
Not us. No.
Not
Who's gonna
us.
pay for that? Yes.
We live life hard.
Eh.
I'm sorry. Oh God, I better not get on this debate. We get women going in here. Never mind. Anyways, moving on.
Unsafe Snuggie, I see what you mean.
Eh.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
moving on. Maybe she didn't hear any of that.
Yeah.
So
Let's
Oh, I doubt
go
it.
with
had
that,
shipped to
yeah.
Los Angeles County. This meant something investigators rarely get in serial cases: a unique, traceable physical marker. The shoe print didn't give them a name, but it gave them a thread, one that would eventually tie multiple crime scenes together with forensic certainty. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my god. This
What?
is getting crazy.
Yeah, this is really getting crazy.
It is nuts. As the attacks continued, investigators began mapping the locations. What emerged was not a tight cluster, but a wide irregular spread across Los Angeles County, Orange County, and beyond. It missed a word. That was not my doing. I don't need the clown horn.
Don't be jelly.
Ah,
Damn it, she heard it.
she did. And
Damn
she and
it.
I talk.
Got it.
So you're in trouble, sir. Just wait until later.
Continue on.
This pattern suggested several things. The offender was highly mobile, likely using freeways to move quickly between neighborhoods. He did not operate within a comfort zone, but as many serial offenders do. He appeared to choose homes based on accessibility, not victim type, and his attacks were not geographically predictable, making patrol strategies difficult. The randomness of the locations, from Arcadia to Monterey Park to Mission Viejo, created a sense of citywide vulnerability. No neighborhood felt safe. No demographic could assume that they weren't targets. This unpredictability became one of the defining characteristics of the Night Stalker case.
I'm gonna put real quick while you're doing that, I'm gonna put go ahead and continue, but I'm gonna put a picture of him up too.
Okay, yeah.
Just so they can kind of see based off of the description that we were talking about. I kind of want
Yeah.
them to see
Get
what this
him
guy
Yeah,
looks
one
like.
of them
definitely. We need
smiling
one.
or something like that.
Oh, I
with
have
the
a good one that I
pretty-
found. It's on my
pretty
phone.
Teeth. Yeah.
If you just type in his name and pull it up, there's some really good ones.
Okay,
That are like creepy.
I will get that on while you're doing that.
Despite the growing number of linked cases, the investigation faced significant challenges. One issue was jurors. Please help me.
Jurisdiction.
I thought you were gonna say George.
Fragmentation. Los Angeles County alone has dozens of police departments, each with its own procedures, leadership, and case management systems. Ramirez crossed these boundaries consistently, leaving detectives in one city unaware of developments in another. Another problem was the lack of a consistent MO. Most serial offenders follow a pattern: same type of victim, same method of killing, same ritualistic behavior. Ramirez did not. He used guns, knives, blunt objects. He attacked young women, elderly couples, even children. He sometimes stole valuables, sometimes he didn't. Sometimes he spoke to the victims, sometimes he remained silent. This inconsistency made it difficult for investigators to confidently declare that all the crimes were connected. There were also communication delays. Evidence from one scene might take days to reach another department. Witness descriptions varied. Media leaks complicated the investigation, revealing details that detectives preferred to keep confidential. By early summer of '85, the task force knew they were dealing with a serial offender, but they still didn't have a name, a suspect list, or a clear investigative direction. What they did have was a city growing more fearful by the day, and a killer whose attacks were becoming more frequent, more violent, and more brazen. Yeah, like so
All right.
creepy.
So yeah, I will. Now that we got the sharing thing figured out here much better. So I will share this, and you guys will get to see how creepy this guy is. All right, I put it up. Give it a second; it'll come up on your screen over there, and you'll get to see. Yeah, he looks creepy, and he has the what do they call that pendulum or what is that
Pentagram.
pentagram on his hand,
Hmm.
and you'll see it on your guys' screen here in just a second. Uh, yeah, it's very right there. You can see it on his hand, and that's when he's in court too.
Hmm.
So go ahead. I'll leave that up
So is
for a
that
few
like
minutes.
is that Sharpie or is that you know?
I don't know if that I it looks like he probably got it tattooed in prison, is
Yeah.
what I'm
Well, I
assuming.
would assume so.
I
Something
mean,
wise.
not to be a weirdo, but the detail, the lines are perfect. The star is evenly spaced. The circle is perfect. It's almost like you said, like a tattoo.
It could be a tattoo. Could be Sharpie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Jenner? Oh, okay. David, I'm leaving that alone. Continue on.
Okay.
She's
Sorry.
she doesn't.
I got distracted.
Yeah, you got her mind all messed up.
What they
Thanks.
did have was a city growing more fearful. By the summer of 85, the number of linked attacks had grown too large for any single department to manage. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and the LAPD agreed to form a multi agency task force dedicated solely to identifying and capturing the offender. The task force included homicide detectives, forensic specialists, crime analysis, and officers from multiple jurisdictions.
Got it.
I got
No horn. No horn.
Among the most prominent investigators were Detective Frank S., already known for his work on the Hillside Strangler case, and Detective Gil C., a younger investigator who was one of the first to suggest that the seemingly unrelated crimes were connected. Carrillo's theory that the same offender was responsible for murders, sexual assaults, and home invasions across multiple counties was initially met with skepticism. Serial offenders typically follow patterns. Ramirez did not. But as more evidence came in, Carrillo's assessment proved accurate. You can honk the horn.
Oh, you got close. You recovered. I'll let that go.
Unsafe Snuggie, help me. The task force was now a mandate. Identify the man terrorizing Southern California. As the attacks continued, media coverage intensified. Newspapers ran front page stories. Television broadcasts led the updates on the latest crime scenes. The public wanted answers, and the pressure on law enforcement grew daily. Excuse me. The media also played a role in shaping the public's
Did you say pubic? Anyways,
shaping the public's perception of the offender.
Jeez. Hold it together there.
Early
Ooh.
descriptions referred to him simply as a serial killer or a home invasion murderer. But as the pattern became clearer, reports began using a new term, one that would stick. Thank you. The Night Stalker. The name captured the randomness of the attacks, the nighttime entries, and the growing sense that the killer could strike anywhere at any time. Public fear escalated. Hardware stores reported spikes in sales of locks, security bars, and firearms. Families began sleeping in shifts. Neighborhood watch groups formed overnight,
oh my god.
and people who had never considered themselves vulnerable suddenly felt exposed. The city was on edge, and the killer seemed to sense it.
I couldn't imagine having to sleep in shifts. When I need my sleep, I need my sleep.
It's
I'm not
like,
doing no damn shifts.
No.
well, when your kid was a baby, did you and your significant other switch off, like who would take care of him in the night?
Well, at that time when he was a baby and he was born, I was working 4P to 4A.
Mm-hmm.
So I was,
So it was opposing, yeah, opposite.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
that
So
one. Yeah,
she had to get up because I was working. I consider that second and third pretty much
Yeah, that
combined,
is.
but
yeah.
when I worked in the mill, so yeah. But I'm sure if I was on a different schedule, then yeah, we would have switched.
Mm-hmm.
So
That summer marked the peak of Ramirez's violence. His attacks became more frequent, more brutal, and increasingly unpredictable. One of the most devastating incidences occurred on July 20th, 1985. Ramirez entered the home of 32-year-old Maxon K and his wife Leela in Glendale. Both were murdered. The crime scene showed extreme violence, and the investigators noted the now familiar signs of a ransacked home. Later that same night, Ramirez drove to Sun Valley and attacked. I am not even going to pronounce these names. They are really crazy.
yeah, they are.
Save people.
He attacked a family, a
There you go.
32-year-old and his wife, as well as their 8-year-old who was restrained. The wife survived and provided investigators with additional behavioral details. These back to back attacks, two families in two different cities within hours, demonstrated the offender's mobility and his willingness to escalate. The task force now understood that the killer was not slowing down. If anything, he was accelerating.
Very nice. Like the open the window. And I noticed you locked your windows.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
I
do.
do.
We
Yeah,
do too.
that wasn't part of the skit. And I was trying to crack the window. It just got hot as hell in here. So
It is warm. Excuse me. I should have had Dubby.
oh, jeez.
As the attack continued, criminal profilers began developing a psychological portrait of the offender. While the lack of a consistent MO made profiling difficult, several traits became clear. The offender was comfortable with close range violence, suggesting a high tolerance for physical confrontation. He displayed opportunistic behavior, choosing victims based on access rather than preference. He referenced to Satan and the occult indicated a possible delusional belief system, though investigators debated whether it was genuine or performative. The combination of sexual assault, murder, and burglary suggested a complex, multi motivated offender not driven by a single compulsion. Profilers also noted that the offender seemed to gain confidence with each attack. His movements were bolder, he was risk taking increased, and he lingered longer at crime scenes. This confidence would eventually lead to mistakes. Despite his mobility and unpredictability, Ramirez began leaving behind more evidence as the summer progressed. At several scenes, investigators recovered fingerprints, partial, smudged, or incomplete, but present. The Via shoe print continued to appear. Witnesses began providing more consistent descriptions, and in some cases, Ramirez left behind items he had touched or moved, giving forensic teams more material to analyze. These small mistakes didn't immediately identify him, but they narrowed the field, they tightened the investigative net, and they signaled that the killer, despite his growing boldness, was not invincible. By late July, the task force felt that they were getting closer, even if they didn't yet know how close. So he starts, so like you said, getting content pretty much.
Oh yeah, by this point he's already committed
Mm-hmm.
a bunch, and he's been at this for a decent amount of time.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it content. I'd call it complacent. Like he
Right.
just didn't care. He wasn't happy about it. He wasn't feeling fulfilled with what he was doing, or he probably would have stopped doing it. But once you get a task force assigned to you, that's pretty much the time that you get to get the hell out of the area.
Or you just hang up and
Yeah.
stop doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But I'm sure he wasn't acutely aware that he was being tracked.
Probably
You know,
not.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. By late July 1985, the Night Stalker's attacks had reached a frequency that left investigators overwhelmed. Crime scenes were appearing almost weekly. The brutality was increasing, and the randomness of the victims made it impossible for the public to predict where he might strike. On August 6, 1985, Ramirez attacked the home of 38-year-old Christopher Peterson and his wife, Virginia, in Northridge. Both were shot in the head at a close range. Miraculously, they both survived. Their descriptions of the attacker, tall, thin, dark hair, bad teeth, matched earlier accounts. 2 days later, on August 8th, Ramirez struck again in Diamond Bar, attacking the home of 27-year-old and her husband.
There you go.
Her husband was killed, but she survived and provided investigators with additional behavior details, including the attacker's voice and his tendency to repeat certain phrases. The attacks were no longer isolated events. They were a pattern of terror stretching across Southern California.
She's trying to do it quietly. Viejo. Oh yeah, Mission Viejo.
Mission Viejo.
My aunt and uncle used to live out there.
I'm glad you both could pronounce that pretty darn easily.
I went and visited them when they lived there, so that's the only way I know about it.
The turning point came on August 24th, 1985, in Mission Viejo, a community in Orange County, far from the earlier clusters of attacks. That night, Ramirez entered the home of 30-year-old Bill Carnes and his fiancée, Inez Erickson. He shot Carnes 3 times and assaulted Erickson. Carnes survived. Erickson, despite her injuries, was able to provide investigators with one of the most detailed descriptions yet. But the most important clue didn't come from the victims. It came from the neighborhood. Earlier that night, several teenagers noticed a suspicious man driving a Toyota station wagon. They wrote down part of the license plate number. When news of the attack broke, they contacted police. This was the break that investigators had been waiting for. The car was quickly identified as stolen, and when it was found abandoned in Los Angeles, forensics teams recovered a single fingerprint from the rearview mirror. It was partial, but it was enough. So teenagers saw a suspicious vehicle and wrote down a license plate and called the police after they heard about the attack.
Yeah, good for them.
Hey, Bird. Sorry. Bird, welcome in, man. Hey, son.
Welcome.
It's almost your bedtime. Yeah, Bird's funny. Bird.
Welcome back.
I go in his lives. He's from TikTok. He's a drummer, and I go in his lives. I always mess with him. I'm like, Dad? He's like, son.
Did you get him to follow our TikTok?
Bird, if you don't follow Murder Show 66 on TikTok, if you wouldn't mind, please do, my friend. Bird is an amazing person, so
We'll
thank you,
follow
buddy.
you right back.
Dude, Bird's awesome. He's a great drummer and stuff, so sorry I got excited. Bird's cool.
You're fine.
Continue.
The fingerprint was run through the newly implemented California fingerprint database. Within hours, investigators had a match. Richard Ramirez, age 25, a drifter with a history of burglary, drug use, and violent behavior. His criminal record included arrests for auto theft and possession of illegal weapons. His mugshot matched survivor descriptions. His physical characteristics aligned with witness accounts and his background. Transient, unpredictable, and familiar with the streets fit the emerging profile. For the first time, the Night Stalker had a name. On August 29th, 1985, law enforcement made a strategic decision. They released Ramirez's name and photograph to the public. The announcement was broadcast across every major news outlet in Southern California. Newspapers printed his mugshot on the front page. Television stations ran continuous updates. The public finally had a face to attach to the fear that had gripped the region for months. The reaction was immediate. Tips poured in.
People?
Honk honk.
Repossession? Did he get something repossessed? Maybe his jeans?
No, I was trying to say people reported and I combined it into one word. People reported sightings. Communities mobilized. Ramirez, unaware that his identity had been revealed, continued moving through Los Angeles until he walked into a convenience store and saw his own face on the front page of a newspaper. He panicked. He fled, and the city responded. On August 31st, 1985, in East Los Angeles, Ramirez attempted to steal a car. The owner fought back. Neighbors recognized him from the news reports. A crowd formed. People shouted his name. Some even chased him down the street.
You like my horn.
David had something up there too. There are Zodiac killer sneakers being sold on the internet. I guess they feature his whatever that word
Cipher.
cipher design and white laces, $60 per pair. How do you
That's
find this
interesting.
stuff, David? Please break this down to me and tell me how you find this shit. I mean, is it because you're the garbage distribution trash can fucker? Is that why? Is that is that how you find this shit? Jeez,
He's a magic man.
He can find lots of things.
that just reminds me of the song from the band Heart. He's a magic man.
Yeah.
But that was talking about, I think, I don't know what that was talking about. Anyways, continue on. We're done with garbage fuck trash
Logistical
can.
man. Yeah, we got it. On August 31st, 1985, in East Los Angeles, Ramirez attempted to steal a car. The owner fought back. Neighbors recognized him from the news reports. A crowd formed. People shouted his name and chased him down the street. Ramirez ran, but he didn't get far. A group of residents subdued him and held him until the police arrived.
Oh, God.
The man who had terrorized Southern California for over a year was finally in custody. His arrest marking the end of one of the most intense manhunts in California history. Richard was ultimately charged with 43 crimes. 13 counts of murder, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. His trial began in 1988 and lasted over a year. He was convicted on all major counts and sentenced to death. Ramirez spent the rest of his life on death row at San Quentin State Prison. He died in 2013 at the age of 53 from complications related to B-cell lymphoma. The Night Stalker case left a lasting impact on Southern California. It changed the way law enforcement agencies communicate across jurisdictions. It influenced the development of forensic databases, and it reshaped public awareness of home security and personal safety. But beyond the procedural lessons, the case remains a stark reminder of how one individual moving through the shadows of a sprawling city can alter the sense of safety for anyone. The victims, those who survived and those who did not, remain at the center of the story. Their testimonies, their resilience, and their courage helping bring an end to one of the most terrifying crime sprees in modern American history.
Could you imagine that's how you get caught? The people in the neighborhood subdued you.
Just take you down.
Yeah. What a way. You did all of this for all this time, and that's how you get caught. It's like, wow, embarrassing.
Yeah.
How'd you get taken down? Was it like a massive shootout with police? The neighbors took me down.
Yeah.
They tackled me.
There was one guy sitting on a launch chair drinking a beer, and he just tripped me.
Yeah.
I was running through his yard. It's like, wow. Okay, then.
Got a couple of questions.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's hit the question segment here. This is something that Classroom Jackie started last week. She likes to quiz criminology. Chris and I don't find it as fascinating because our brains have to get used.
But it makes it interesting where we can see what everybody thinks.
That's fine.
And you guys can chime in too. There's no right or
Yeah,
wrong
feel
answers.
free in the chat to chime in. Have at it. So go ahead, hit us with a question.
Do you think Richard Ramirez's childhood trauma shaped who he became, or was he already predisposed to violence?
Who's going first?
Whoever you want. This is for both of you.
Well, Chris looks better than me, so go ahead and go first.
Oh.
No, I think we cover this with a lot of people. It's a nature nurture thing. You're the environmental impact on people, and yeah, he was exposed to a hell of a lot as a kid. And once again, you mentioned like his mother was inhaling chemicals while she
Yeah.
was carrying him too. Who knows? I mean, it could be some sort of malformation in his damn brain, or hard to tell. You grow up and maybe he was exposed to things. I mean, we only covered a certain portion of this. What made him snap exactly? Like,
Mhm.
what pushed him to the point where he decided that, because I think a lot of people out there, you know, argue with me if I'm crazy, but I think a lot of people out there have a lot of sick and weird ideas and things, but most of them don't act on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, even like road rage incidents and things like that. Like everybody probably is somewhat guilty driving down the road and someone pisses you off. You're grabbing the steering wheel and you're like, "Gee, I'm gonna run that guy off the
Yep.
road," but you don't do it.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, what makes you cross that line? Difficult to tell. I don't know that I can necessarily say that we can pinpoint it back to the Polaroids of Vietnam that he looked at, or a murder that he witnessed,
Or his dad.
yeah, or his dad that treated him like shit. It's hard to tell, honestly.
Maybe she stood by the microwave pregnant, Bird says.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, microwaving and do some funny things.
Yeah. Yeah. They always did teach us that as kids. Did your parents ever teach you that as kids? Don't stare at it. Don't stand in front of it.
Eating lead paint chips or something. Or
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true too. Good old lead paint.
So-
God.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I think a lot. I don't think it helped. I think a lot of it stemmed and started from that. I
From
do.
the childhood?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do, especially the different signs that he showed at the crime scene of being calm and then being temperament and pissed off. He got that from his dad. That's
Yeah.
exactly how his father was, and he saw that growing up. I mean,
Unfortunately.
we do, most of us, we study our parents, and especially boys, they look at how their dads are, father figure wise, husband wise, or whatever, and we do watch that. Kids do.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
my kid does, your kid does. I mean, a bunch of kids do.
you can just take a different path, though. I mean, you can either do the same thing or you can learn from it. One or the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tim, which part of the investigation surprised you the most? The shoe print, the fingerprint match, or the public capture?
The public captures pretty just goofy to me because you don't hear of too many of these serial killers being caught that way.
Right, by the
They're
public.
caught, yeah, they're caught and usually by the police or FBI or whatever. But I think the shoe print's really surprising me, surprising to me because he had the one pair, the only pair that was in LA.
Right.
What are the odds?
And it was 11 and a half.
Yeah. What are the odds? So that just
Yeah.
really blew me away.
All right, criminology. Chris, what about you?
Probably the shoe thing too, because yeah, like you said, what the hell are the chances that you have the only stinking shoe that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you never change your shoes too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently, he never stole any of those.
Right?
Um,
He should have looked into that, but he
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, 11 and a half apparently was an uncommon size to find in people's homes or whatever. I don't know.
Maybe that's because Shaq hadn't been born yet.
He had like size like 21 or
Yeah,
something. Crazy.
it's crazy. Good thing Shaq never killed.
All right, criminology. Chris.
Oh no.
How do you feel knowing Ramirez targeted homes at random? Does that change how you think about safety?
I think we all grow up watching ridiculous movies and stupid things. I like I said, I lock my doors and lock my windows and things like that. Even though once again, like we already touched on this, like we live in a pretty safe environment, but at the same time, it's still kind of like a smart thing to do. I think nowadays with the media and how they handle things and how they, cover information, people didn't, I don't think, watch nearly as much of that back in that period of time. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people were nearly as afraid. I don't know. I didn't feel afraid when I was a kid, but then again, I was a kid, so it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, growing up in the '90s, were things as bad back in the '80s? I don't know,
Yeah.
but they weren't covered in the media nearly as much. Either that, or once again, I didn't watch it because I was a damn kid.
Yeah.
So kind of hard for me to tell you with any amount of certainty as to whether or not that shaped my current perception of safety. But it's just what you do.
Yeah.
Okay, for both of you, what moment in this case do you believe was truly the turning point for the investigators?
I think having a task force and actually trailing the guy, like the actual cooperation that was multi-county or across the board, like people were actually starting to follow it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to, I think once he committed those couple murders and actually developed like some sort of, not necessarily a pattern, but some sort of path or something that put it in their heads that, hey, this is the same guy doing this shit. And now they put together, like I said, now you're being followed, now you're being watched. And when they started paying attention to it and talking to each other, that's when they started kind of narrowing it down.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. And I also think the shoe thing too. That's a huge thing.
All right, both of you. Do you think that the Night Stalker could have been caught sooner with today's technology?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Could have
I thought he
been.
was wearing a hairnet. I mean,
Yeah. All right. Do you think, criminology Chris, that Ramirez's crimes were driven by opportunity or intention?
well, I think it was both. I mean, obviously, it was opportunistic to a point. The guy was climbing in and out of windows and shit, and he wasn't targeting anybody in specific. It was just a, hey, that one's easy.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. I have a different question for you, Tim.
Uh-oh.
What detail from this case stayed with you the most after hearing the episode?
I don't know. I just think the way that he sexually assaulted that 79-year-old woman in the beginning, that just sticks with me because that's just sick.
Right.
I don't know. Just
And
because she's, 80 pretty much,
right.
and that's just sickening. Sexual assault, period, to me, that all that shit, that's just disgusting.
And
But
we didn't get into it because there was a lot more gruesome cases, but there were children victims as
yeah,
well.
then
And
then
we
that's
didn't want to touch all of it.
yeah, yeah, that's another whole other
Trigger point
avenue
for
of
all of us.
disgustingness.
Hmm. But so, do you think that if he had a better life, better childhood, father who loved him, mother that didn't be near solvents, do you think he'd be normal and not kill people? Or do you think he would still do it? Even if you had to judge a book by its cover?
Hard to tell.
I think,
Hard to
and
tell.
this is very much judging a book by the cover, just the way he looks. I 100% think he would have been a murderer.
Yeah, I
You're
don't know that
well,
you
you're
can
you're
necessarily.
you're going you're going straight there.
Yeah, I see a lot of people on a regular basis that strike me. Well, that guy kind of look a little weird, but I don't think that they're going out and killing people because they have a misshapen head or something like
But if you
Misshapen.
look
What are
at
we,
his
the cone
eyes,
heads?
his eyes almost look empty and vacant, like he's not there.
Yeah, but you already know the story behind the picture anyway. So, but if you
Hmm.
just saw the guy walking down the road,
I'd probably cross the street and stay away.
I don't know.
But you would automatically assume that he's a killer, or he's going to be.
Hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I'm usually a pretty good judge of character.
Well, do you follow up with these people to find out that they are killers?
No.
Well, then how do you know you're a
You
good judge of
moved.
character? Oh,
We got a new camera, guys.
that's okay. I can just hit this, and it goes right back.
We're just following Tim now.
Yeah, it's AI. Look at it. It went right on me. It was excited. It's like, look at this sexy son of a bitch right
It was
here.
stuck on Chris last night for like an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so you've got okay. All right, Chris.
Yeah, I don't think that you can look at somebody and figure out whether or not they're gonna commit a crime by the way their eyes are. You know,
By the way, their eyes are. You got-
just me.
You got one
know,
eye going that way. You're a killer.
The guy's got a very flat nose and his eyes are too far apart.
Ain't got no gas in it.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
No, that's it.
That's it.
You
All
guys
right.
asked me not to give you 15 like
Okay.
I did
Well,
last
we
time.
appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening in. A little bit of a longer one, but we still actually kept it in the time frame, so that's good. Thank you for listening in. This was a pretty crazy case. I mean, everything we cover is. But next week we'll hit a little drum roll here for you. This one's probably going to get the chat pretty pretty wild. It's
You
going to get
guys
a lot of
ready?
us pretty wild. But
You ready?
next week we're going to be covering Gypsy Rose.
Oh.
So brace yourselves for that one.
And this one is wild.
Yeah, that one is going to be. It's going
If
to be real spooky.
If you don't know what Munchausen's by proxy is, you will after this episode.
Yeah. But other than that, we hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend. Has a great week next week. The weather's starting to get a little bit better around here, and that's what we give a shit. I swear that guy does that on purpose every Saturday, drives by here with those god awful subwoofers at the same time too. So I will find him, and I have a particular set of skills. Anyways, so
the stupid thing is, do you remember over the summer there was like a really loud one that would drive by all the time?
Yes.
I knew who that was, and I gave him crap for it. I was like, why do you do it? They're trying to mess with somebody who lives on the street. And I'm like, yeah, but I live there. You can stop.
Yeah. Oh yeah, take care. Much love to you too, Bird. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, definitely. Appreciate all you guys in the chat coming in here. Like Classroom Jackie said in the beginning, the show's growing big time, and we appreciate it. This is more and further than I ever expected it to go.
Oh, it's
And
going nuts,
this
and
has
we can't
been,
believe it.
yeah, this has been a big dream. And Classroom Jackie actually ran into a random fan, which is
Yeah.
hilarious. I mean, it's hilarious, but it's cool because it's somebody that we don't even know, and they follow the show on Spotify and stuff. I wish I could be baking cookies, but oh yeah, I wish I could be baking cookies too.
Yeah, cookies sound good.
No, she's screwing with me right now. Anyways, don't ask, guys.
We're not going to.
That was good. I tried to call her on her bluff and say she wouldn't say it, but she did. That was good. That was good.
Oh wait, Tim.
So, anyways,
I have a question.
No, anyways, so thank you guys for listening in. We appreciate it. And other than that, we will see you guys all next week. And I will let Jackie take us out of here.
Same crime time, same crime place.